Okay, we have to go way back. This is actually kind of a two-in-one story. My pic got leaked when I was 13 years old. And let me tell you, boys, this is quite the story. So, let's go way back. Okay, so, what the fuck? Chat's already what the fuck? Okay. For some context, this goes way back. To middle school. When I was in a theater club at 12 years old. I think I've told this story before about this girl. Let's call her Maddie. Sounds illegal? Okay. No, okay. Anyway, so I went to a theater club. Cause you guys know I'm a theater kid. And there was this girl there named Maddie. And, when I was like 12, I started, we started talking. She thought I was hilarious. I was dropping heavy LOL W's. Boys, let me tell you, it was unfathomable the amount of LOL W's I was dropping. She was laughing at every joke I was dropping. I felt on top of the world, baby. And so, I started to get some feelings for this girl. I started to really like her, and I thought she was pretty cute. I wanted to pursue this friendship to something more, I started to get feelings for her, and, eventually I thought, let's ask her out, It was coming towards the end of the year, 2017, all right? And I thought, great Christmas present if she says yes, and it's a great way to end off the year and start out 2018 strong, And, so I was like, okay, I want to ask this girl out. But I don't know how. I'm kind of a pussy, But the opportunity came when we were at the theater club and we were hanging out, some of us. And, some people were noticing. Maddie and I, we were kind of, like up against each other, And this one girl was like, damn, you two would make a cute couple. And then I was like, true, actually. And she thought I was joking. Maddie thought I was joking, but I was not. I kept saying, no, I'm being serious. We would be a cute couple. And, she was kind of taken aback. And she was like, I'm gonna need some time to process this. Which is never a good sign when a girl says that, alright? At that point, it's Jover. It's Jover. But I didn't know I didn't know hints at the time, alright? Fucking, you were 12 when that happened? Exactly. I was 12. I was a dumbass kid. So, I was like, okay, maybe there's a chance. But she texted me a few days later and was like, sorry, Sandra, I like you as a friend, but I can't see us pursuing anything romantic. So I was rejected, and I was a sad boy for a long time over that. But eventually, I got through it. I still had a crush on her, and I still kept trying because I was really dense in the head. But eventually, I kind of got over it. It wasn't really bothering me. But one random evening in January of 2019, now bear in mind, in 2019, I was like, okay, I've been sad for a long time. I need to get over this. I need to improve myself and, have a more positive mindset. So, I was on that self-improvement grind. And then something happened that I thought was going to ruin my entire life. Let me tell you, I'm not even exaggerating, boys. I'm not exaggerating. Because Maddie's friend randomly added me. Let's call her Evelyn. And Evelyn started texting me because she was hanging out with Maddie. And they were very, very good friends. And so Maddie, or no, sorry. Now I'm confusing the names. So Evelyn started texting me from Maddie's phone. And she was like, yo, you want to meet up and have sex? And I was like, and bear in mind, I was a horny ass 13-year-old. So I said yes. But I was also pretty insecure about what I was packing down there. So I was like, you probably wouldn't like, it's probably too small. And, random side note, she was like, okay, let's add each other. Let's discuss this. So we did. And I was a bit insecure about my size. So I said that. And she was like, I don't care. But can I see it? Now bear in mind, this sounds like the plot of a movie or something. Literally. But bear in mind, I was skeptical because I knew the dangers of sharing, like, explicit images online. It was like, especially a stranger that I barely knew. So I was like, nah, I don't feel comfortable doing that. But she was like, pic for pic. If I send a titty pic, you can send a dick pic. And I was like, I'd like a titty pic. A titty pic would be fun. That could be fun. She sent one. And I was like, okay. Okay. She was hitting cannonless. And I couldn't even hit the star with a cannon. So I send the pic. And, bear in mind, she's hanging out with Maddie at this time, who I still had a semi-crush on. Boom! Let's go! And so, as I sent it on Snapchat, Evelyn showed the picture of my wee-wee to Maddie, whom I had a crush on. Yeah! My crush saw my dick accidentally when I was 13 years old. Generational fumble. And not only that, she started telling me that she was gonna save it to her dick folder that she had on her phone. And boys, Evelyn toxic as fuck. Evelyn's a creep. Brother, literally. How old was Evelyn? 14, and I was 13. And so she saved the picture. And boys, I'm not gonna lie, even though I was on that self-improvement grind and I tried to remain, you know, calm, rational, shit like that, I ain't even gonna front. I went into fucking panic mode, all right? And I tried to play it off cool, all right? Because my grandma on my dad's side used to collect lighters, which we then, you know, we got the lighters after she passed away, rest in peace. And so I tried to play it off. I was like, no, it's this lighter. Look, it's this lighter I have, because she had like a lighter that was shaped like a dick. Fitting music for the panic mode part. But she could tell that my dick, even though I had a terrible fucking phone at the time, she could tell that dick and the lighter, that was not the same dick. This was also, coincidentally enough, a school night where our class had decided it would be fun as a, you know, class activity to go out and go bowling together. And before that, I was out, you know, buying food. I was getting food for myself, buying some hot dogs. And I could barely fucking eat because I was in panic mode. Eating hot dogs while having a dick pic situation is pretty poetic. I'm not gonna front though. I'm not gonna lie. That is actually pretty poetic. And also trying to prepare myself to go out for the bowling night, but too stressed because I had a little bit of a situation, you know? So I'm trying not to stress, but I ain't gonna front. I was pretty fucking stressed out, all right? I think anybody would be in that scenario. Let's be real. I tried to play that shit cool, but like, bear in mind, this was 7th grade. In 6th grade, our, I think, history teacher or something like that did show us a video, a very real video of this girl whose life got ruined because her nudes got leaked. And on the street, she was being recognized as that girl who got her nudes leaked and being called a whore and shit. It was genuinely fucked up. And obviously I'm privileged because this affects women a lot more than men. But still, I knew the dangers of sharing that kind of thing and knew that, you know, it could definitely ruin your life. So I was getting pretty scared. And honestly, it was fucking dumb of me to send that picture. It was fucking dumb. All right, I trusted her. I know she sent a titty pic first, but even still, she could easily save that shit. All right, I should not have trusted her word. I kept saying, please do not save it. All right. And she was like, no, I promise I won't. But simply put, I should not have trusted this bitch. I barely even fucking knew her. So I blocked her and panicked and was like, let's just hope she doesn't leak this shit. But even if she does, you know, I'll just say it wasn't mine and, you know, hope everything is fine. And even though they could probably see my Snapchat name and shit like that, I'll just try and play it off and shit like that, you know. Hopefully this doesn't affect my life too much, but I'm really scared and I'm thinking this is gonna ruin my life. And you know, having a lot of thoughts are going through my head during this point, right? Then Maddie starts texting me and she's mad at me because Evelyn started telling Maddie that I was the one who manipulated Evelyn and was like, I sent a really vulnerable picture of my titties to this guy, and then he promised to send a dick pic back, but it was just a lighter. Motherfucker, you were the one who saved that shit. So Maddie was now mad at me, even though I was the one being fucking used. And now my crush was mad at me. Brother, I thought it was Jover. I'm not even gonna front, boys. I thought it was Jover during this point. And then Maddie tells me, like, please unblock her. She has something she has to say. And I'm like, no, not doing that shit, okay? She's fucked in the head. I don't want to associate with her. She can leak my dick, but I don't want any fucking contact to this bitch. And she's like, please add her. She wants to apologize. And I'm like, okay, sure. I'll hear her out, but I don't expect any, you know, don't expect me to have any fucking sympathy for this bitch. So I did. And she's like, listen. I promise this was all a prank. And she shows me like evidence. She did delete the picture as well. She goes in, she deletes it. She shows her recently deleted, deletes it from there as well. And she was like, I'm so sorry. I pranked you. I just wanted to see your reaction. Which is crazy, all right? I've seen some fucked up pranks back in the good old days of like 2015 when pranks were at the top of YouTube. But none of those pranks compare, all right? This was fucking evil, straight up. Like, this was crazy. I ain't ever experienced anything like that. But somehow, I forgave her. You know what? It's chill. I forgive you. Just don't ever pull that kind of move again. Then I don't really care. But somehow, I kept contact with this girl. I don't know why after that, but I guess I'm just too trusting. That's why I have a tendency to get scammed, because I'm just too trusting. Don't ever send any like explicit pictures. It's not worth it, all right? We didn't even end up hooking up, all right? So this was all for fucking nothing. She promised a hookup and that never even happened after all that fucking trouble. But anyway, somehow I managed to keep contact with her after all this. Not long after, she started asking me for money. She was like, yo, I'm kind of low on money right now, but I need to buy food. So can you like, you know, spare some? So I was like, sure. Which I don't know why I did that after, you know, she clearly showed I couldn't trust her. But whatever. I forgive and I trust too easily, for better or for worse. Then this bitch was like, this guy's really nice and giving me money whenever I ask for it. Why don't I just start using him for money? She never texted me for any other reason. She never checked up on me. She never asked how I was doing. She never wanted to hang out. Anytime she texted me, it was just, hey, can you spare some change? I kind of need food right now. And she promised me she would pay it back. She never did. Not until my dad contacted her mother. It was that bad. And was like, yo, your daughter's scamming my son. Can you please tell her to pay him back? And then she finally did. But only under pressure. Is Evelyn doing well these days? No idea. Because after she finally paid me back, she blocked me. After that, she didn't want nothing to do with me anymore. Nothing. So yeah, boys, moral of the story. If you could even, I guess, yeah, no, the moral of the story is pretty fucking simple. Don't ever send dick pics and give money to a girl you barely even know, alright? Teenage Sander was a simp, alright? Don't be simping in the big 25, alright? This was 2019. In the big 25, do not be simping, alright? I was simping before simping was even a thing. I was down horrendously bad. You should thank Evelyn. She taught you a crucial lesson. Yeah, ever since then, I have never sent another explicit picture. And genuinely, I would advise you guys to not do that shit either. Because, especially not with someone you barely know. I mean, just don't do it in general, but especially if it's some girl you barely even know. Just don't do that shit. And what happened to Maddie? Maddie and I were actually, you know, we had our ups and downs, but we remained good friends, even went to college together, and it all worked out.